remember, where you were, when you learned, like, hey, Corey, safety's a big deal. Quit messing around. You need to uphold it. You need to do it. Like, I remember exactly where I was when I learned that principle. Nate Martinez taught me that, and he had to show me. I came from residential into commercial. I needed to be taught a lesson, I think. And but y'all recall, like, when it became like, hey, this is where we're going. This is a big deal. Better start doing it.
For me, it was probably the late '80s. We were building a mid-rise medical office building downtown Dallas, and I was a field engineer back then. We were doing layout, and we were doing things like I'd skinny around a column to go sit on a beam, and the elevator shaft was on one side, and 6 stories to the ground was on the other side, and I'd sit on the beam and I'd lay on the beam. We'd shoot grades and we'd pop lines on the side for lintels, and we'd do stuff like that without being tied off at all.
Glad you're still here, big guy.
I'm glad I'm still here too. And on that same project, it was we were forming the floors. We was basically building tables and putting pans on it to form up the floors. We had poured a floor, and I was up there doing layout for the columns on going to the next floor, and I was up there by myself with my helper, and they had stripped all the grade beams, or not grade beams, the perimeter beams clean. So I was coming off of the slab, and I was stepping down onto the table, and my pant leg caught a layout nail still in the concrete, and I fell on the table. And there's no guardrails or anything, and all I could see in front of me from about here down was the ground 6 floors below me. Oof. Yeah, and so it's kind of at that point I realized safety was important, but it was something at that time of the industry, it was something you pretty much had to take the initiative to take care of yourself. Yeah. And I believe that today. So when I talk to people today, I reflect on my experiences, even as simple as ladder safety, and I try to get them to think about, hey, I'm not asking you to do this because I'm telling you to do it. I'm asking you to do this is because you have a family and a wife and children at home, and you need to go home to them. Yeah. And this job isn't important enough for you to lose that luxury,
Well, in our business, that's every day. You know what I mean? Like, we could lose that luxury every day we're at work. And so I think to answer the question for me, in 2008, when I came to American, I was an intern, so you're first introduced to safety meetings, right? Because we were already doing safety meetings. And then you start going on site and you're following and you're getting taught and being shown, hey, we need to do this, we need to do that. And then that kind of morphed. That's kind of about the time we started the OSHA Challenge program. Craig Eilers was my PM, and that was kind of, he was saying, hey, we're going to start kicking this off back in '08 and '09, I believe it was, is when it really kicked off. And so, and what that required and what that was going to require, I don't know if we knew at the time, and then it kind of morphed into what we have now. So, just kind of being isolated on a project as an intern and then getting hired on as a field engineer, I'm not privy to what y'all saw back in the day, because a lot of that had already been changed, and so but having those conversations and setting those expectations that, hey, we want to go home tonight. I want to see my wife, I want to see my daughter, I want to see my kids, so that's getting that message across. That was huge, that is huge to and it sits with people, it resonates,